Neymar Silva Junior and also Ronaldo. Mummy no nyina krasa say Neymar no Ronaldo so birthday and 90 years bisa say Neymar and Ronaldo wo and our chance say I was my back to Europe. Why ananka obama aba back to European football couple.
Well, Kwame Isaac said, I will choose Ronaldo because he's the greatest of all time. And Wadiaba Ahmed Michelle, as I will bring Neymar Ahmed a message and on the way. So a branch of Ben Fanci was so for Ronaldo. The message and no, well, so a branch of the Brown Jr. was he CR7 on his peak or no? And I for no some choosing what an idea about Tete Benjamin and some trust in Neymar and also. I didn't wise man say I want also the CR7 and ever and a message about Jonathan Spence, of course, the greatest Ronaldo Asem and worker. When we are on last year from Mansour Mpatuo Mosel bring back Neymar and a message one also a day up Nano Pedro and so Tressa Ronaldo and Ojino and some Adeno Abba and pay Fanci Di Maria.
Say no be the name at 34 and Ronaldo 41 and good. Okay.
I can see from you no. Okay. You might enjoy life pa 34 41. 34 41. Okay.
What do you call yana?
Okay. 34 41. Okay.
Ma yemra bet to no so no say mama for far. 2 quotes.
Yeah.
One I 17 oz and the other one no and I 12 oz. Omo far nenra to 2 quotes out of the 4.
Yeah.
A boy.
Yeah.
Na mama hwe na fi I mean for quotes na mama real quick na yenko foreign embra. 4 quotes and ye 30 oz. BW39 1BB E38 and here 30 oz.
Okay.
BW39 1B9 D83 8 oz. BW39 1BC 6C1 and here 6 oz. And BW39 1BC D93 and here 5 oz.
Good.
Auntie, you bet me, Auntie. Auntie, dear, and that's all.
Chinawan Trebia, Chinansus, now Yasadi, Auntie.
Auntie, bet you at my bet we was converting points Ubeneska. Now they are checking how far. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana, not for persons below 18 years. A bet we and so I don't about. Shadow, I can say, Mamma knew afford when I'm okay to Mummy and Quay. A couple cars and was me trying to quick. Because I almost saw my chain bear old bird, my bear 5 more. Then you pack crowd who come a cow. Nipa no baby a mo free about crooms na umu dada we can me dey simple la ofofofo we buy price in the chow we shock and any money until from source
there ADM say you eat my
the chairman na boso so wunya hwe o
no dey hanya na sa bank kura akwaji loan so
that's a hanya bank
do oji more than bank
also wow
for no so
opa fere nka we 22 me so I 22 on my 22 and me from me last year me 22
okay
0544 770040 0544 770040 about 4 grand them away to
rubber.
Oh, na say if you buy and it's if you never and go. So they see one on sign is wow. Once the guy say to buy Nissan
and car black
massa. How we wanna 2 crowd 9. 4. Pa mo monye ma way ma we nyema na ye hu de be yo.
Never do.
Why? Ti me kwama no ne aba. No number no mo free
koma me so.
We do well uko garage a wunya no sa
ne de
Kana so nya hwe nipa na abrochire ni baa no de baa ya je atwa tekita ko no ano no
ya nyere so enyere so ti di aka na ofra ya se baa tiria no so ano
asa
Wontumi.
aska de na unya utu no crash on kwa se de ogaga siba na wanti we esi nso bo masa
fully
na nko a wo bia gate na mu bo abrochire
sent no
so no abrochire sent
oh yeah abrochire oh le da no
yanko foreign number na nam de ma mum frɛ the number na ma mum frɛ shadow we hwe ni obi mum yanko foreign no ano
trading
for dunia na nizam ba ko no masa yanko foreign ye mawie
Wontumi.
Angwa juma no you Yami wohoda Se uji dudia Obeya juma Ensachre no you Yami wohoda Se uji dudia Obeya juma Ye bompaye Shamachi Shra Yehuwa Ilahenu Yehuwa Ekat We ahata et Yehuwa Elohika bika Uvika na veshika uvika miyodika tode yasak in English in the name of Jesus amen
shalom boy kapo say kapo chairman I feel chairman baba me akwa
yes now me abeg dey bibi anso
go tama taboku kasamu say messages and ben no bia say hey wo chairman ya de pa say what me assemble yes kwara bi ko me nkwa me ho hene papa me
na guess it is okay how
chairman
guess no me say guess no me say how many boys this year me say guess it say TVSPORTS no I number 1
chairman
angwa juma no you Yami wohoda Se uji dudia Obeya juma Ensachre no you Yami wohoda Se uji dudia Obeya juma Ye bompaye Shamachi Shra Yehuwa Ilahenu Yehuwa Ekat We ahata et Yehuwa
Ti no na yes wo na de na me challenge na say Ronaldo so de no wonum say Ronaldo ayo bi a latest amenya no say ne wono som arisomo training our brother ya tell say ya twani e say bi anyame ya mo chena Ronaldo abebo ana say Ronaldo ayo bi a gamer e won say no som abasonya de say Ronaldo no ensom abenya bi apone ya tena no pe no ya update ba ma chess update awodo a ya de abra ni nyina no say na medical so de ababetutwa what to say Ronaldo no be almost say ochina no yade say bi ono ebenya nkenu bi na fe wono so apia ba latest as say eno so ba no say Ronaldo de no wo say guarantee bi ani ho a eno so acha say bi ochina Ronaldo ababo game against Al Ittihad and as a player ye fa say Ronaldo so ma ena aye bema so ba mom after Sandra wono so aye training na say ye twa say bi asi ro aye obi a wono so abetimi abosa ma chene nyina no so on control be aso obo ana training annual report because omo ensom not about to say one club no our contract enti Wontumi nkasa bia wakwa wall our brand one report to training any ade enti training ana mo so ba one dia wa ba report to a training no mo say bia match na party one so other kaso obo no report amenya no say Ronaldo no ensom anya fa guarantees bia ma ya and so match so no abebo ayesa kemanya ya no chena eno so abeko so na on say Galatasaray for no after sano permanent to jasa wo ma branch one say Mara Icardi ayobi asase wonom ababe jasa foreigner one was goals no to adiama club ya fa say Gala enom aye 73 goals no we ayon one kasa take you to nia ya fa say Instagram and a commercial player ne den ensom ademara Icardi no one some akako post here na ikari be so twasa we no anya se bia Galatasaray ay part of ne career ne mom no what did he pass a club no and some ay part of ne life the moment we better se bia debi and some ay part of ne life no na chasam say nin kwaya by dada setna some aliate am so did he pass na Wontumi home e wa bra Galatasaray and some anim ontumi na ensore e wa bra Galatasaray team no and some encounter na wajatumi pass and part of the career no mom no and some by part of the life ayasama we also take you to IG one some akwa post here ya dey update ni nyina no and some at aba wo call ayetakia one mo transfer market no enyan closing answer now no report to me nyan so player your fan Sasha boy ayobi ono and some upon the ball and ma bamunche mo bo kono na no pay no woman ya kwada no so we latest amenya dia free ayo bamunche some man say Sasha boy ayobi ono and some other fly one alcohol aye Istanbul and now kodrupa wakwa sign and some adamant to sa kwada no kwa no wo fruwa na basem ko aye club your fans are no and some myself return the Taquano and some myself Kobiama, walk out to Osodiama, a Galatasaray, the Ricano, a long by and it's a Akomeah and a mountain bar, one of some other body of my club and so in Claudia, and you're Sasha boy, and some other two also at your club now, the medical, and some other castle and in Golo Conte was a what to be as a Mobamani over to Istanbul and Joe now for an bunch of supporters, some banner, when you have a big crown and Cabasa, what to night, and some see any attending, where are your message? Our your friends and Golo Conte, sir, young from all can you say one I read the weno a new chapter and oba baby and I just a new chapter was a say another challenge and some other mano na near GL person one of some I shared the yellow and blue Jason Afe one of some abo Adiama club you found for a bunch I know and some by a canted yet ever real quick enough you free a turkey amra and just stories no so dia mommy a yet from a batch boy now you found John Duran na John Duran as your kind Wanona na wani Ronaldo ewa timu wa so ana Ronaldo ntina ma aye John Durano wo free o kwa Fenerbahce ni ati onim se me no kase no report to me nya no say John Duran wa terminate the contract na wonom ana Fenerbahce ewo ama latest aba sesian so twasa John Duran ayo bi onam kwemu ensom akọ aye Russia na Russia ni John Duran ekọ ni nyina no wo kwa sign adiama Zenit Petersburg ana ye club report to me nya no say player no one of some saying and some German away about the fourth club in 1 year. Not just a year down the lane. When about team at Tosuma come fourth say Aquadano so saying and some German not just what no may nesia now a bano may nesia I think you boy no what bona sababa ball again the cancer for an abochinum amosoniate our brother Zenit and then the fourth club in a single year. Aquadano so I join your update and yet Emma yet for an pay and some our shows now. Young Italy, number John Terry. What was that John Terry said? Yaman to Casara was all share a fabric gas. Our coachy Bobo Kwefan say Akomeah. According to John Terry was say fabric gas anima juma pa na we no I comedy basso and a bassa or reference John Terry no one of some other kakra antebana JT and so say of so just a family there woman can say or Boboma Arsenal and over game some other matches a team you found Chelsea and a Chelsea one no at the Premier League no and somebody woman also name John Terry say wash a gym pa ya kasa dream just a fabric gas and the year Jumana. One of the 3 year pass that to be ano. I say be a fabric gas. I was a coach Arsenal and also be a coach at Chelsea. Now what 3 year pass a fab and some our Arsenal and also be a fabric gas. Our Chelsea no. We bet we are coach and some our top level. Essence we share a yokomo jumedia. Baby also much as a fab no. I bet me I say juman yinti some player. And maybe a chum on a fab a boy. I found say JT and some other tuja.
Chelsea says Fabregas Arsenal.
I think Arsenal because the time he spent there
But that year I played with him and we won the league under Conte, honestly, I think he's got the best football brain I've been around and seen, the way he understands football. And there's no coincidence why he's doing so well as manager of Akomeah. I think he's going to be a top manager, and I think one day manages Chelsea, manages Arsenal at the top level.
Says Fabregas Chelsea, says Fabregas Arsenal.
I think Arsenal because of the time he spent there. But that year I played with him and we won the league under Conte, honestly, I think he's got the best football brain I've been around and seen, the way he understands football. And there's no coincidence why he's doing so well as manager of Akomeah. I think he's going to be a top manager, and I think one day manages Chelsea, manages Arsenal at the top level.
Says Fabregas Chelsea, says Fabregas Arsenal.
I think
Terry JT now test your dinner excepts am I a tip for an anopeno and some I was shown also am I chesano and some I kakre free almost wire and so they buy what Jumadensona and what you know Mama Juventus almost quite a model and woman so ball I Coppa Italia woman quarter final game Omoni Bobo Cravans Atalanta for no and some other Beshian and match Basso our brad Juvene I side there for Atalanta woman so about Juve for no Kwawe 8 o'clock and I drew a Timono, woman some Abasa, Camonimsa, woman players, woman Tomano Yano, Bako, I Jeremy Poka, and Alfred Yotosumian, I player, your father's a male Holm, Omonano, and some our Juve, almost quite anymore, Holm and a J number 2 JC. I just remember Jeremy Pocano, Yadiasa Pocan, so number 13, and some Adiama, La Vicia Signora, and no I said Juventus, and some club, woman was here for our brand. No, I gamer, and on some other question, I can't do fee, and some I can say, woman, some our former pa. Now, former Juventus, a woman, I know real fans Alexandro Del Piero. Now, Del Piero said, you want to just say, on the Ogiria Passa Juve Timono was a Spalletti, Asama Clamano, Wamate Adia Suquan Panoso. Now, Luciano Spalletti, or no, and some Anama Juventus, Anyania, your fans identity, essence, Nanka Juve, the Obiarum said your Juve, and some Messian and Yoma will be able to dominate a league domestically for years. Now, be intimate to Troni, a Juve, and was a Spalletti Asadi identity, and some Asadi Abama Nioma, and some I have fine Adama Clubber, your fans said Juventus, and watch Arabia, sir, Oya player, and some Adama Juventus. I was so aiming for the maximum, no, and some Ayaskida to Akomeah, so no, I was almost some to me, and to do a full Akomeah, so now, New Cransam Bay, no, your platform at Juve, to me, league, you know, and some Amania, Ayasama, or Real Fans at Del Piero, one of some Ariatricana Omwa, Yana Omotai, Aya, Canan Jodes, I compare or no, Aya Del Piero, and was say, New Cransam Quadanity, New Cransam Quadan Adana so Coreno, and your no comparisons, Accra, Mamon Compamunjai, Emma Brian Casans, and follow one Casana path, archers, one, and some, and I'm Ostatesa, what the Canan Jodes, I compare one on Del Piero Bra, what a pressure, and Emma Quadanos has a Del Piero Mono, Juma Borma, Juvenia, Juma Ketuantana, Munya Malcatano, one on some Banka, one so the sa, and non Ayasmo Ray, and some Ayatrika, sir, on him say, no polyphonic place on my proper, sir, yes, sir, and Lorenzo Insignia, Ayobia, and so one to know by Sir Abasuobo, and some Atama, Ayabo Cravans and Napoli, Wabaka Lorenzo Insignia of a born Napoli, and some Asanquai or say, Wakacham Panfonsa, Abasuobo, Adama Napoli, Empo for free, because what and Wahubi, woman players ringing out proper from midfield, adequate attack, and more than some injured in Tinkwabasuba, Nankabi audio 6 months, Akrana Mobasa, one who is senior super, and Kono Ababa report, I mean, was in Parfano rejected. I saw idea at a summer Macquain, and one of some and Kono Cradie, and only Caprocra, what about some Yamana Poli for free. Now Christian Kifu, were Inter Milan for coach. Na kochi say yamantu gasa Nicolo Barella ebeba back and what ya can chala no glue and so ebeba back esansa weekendi wamo bo ayesa swallow culture wey a tricky game abrabia saswolo and some abeshia team kesebiano wabeshano krana saswolo for no e ma won fa na hongro so sa wama watibi and so ahua ansa na benya ayo 3 points akwa won sansom aka me no kasai manager be so chesam kwanani mi anu nyina
no and some available for that game now and no good news and so no na enra womo qualify from Coppa Italia and your quarter final the quarter semi final no and Carlos Augusto was say you want to just say womo ye Inter Milan competition bia omo bia no Inter maso beto sumi no Inter maso beto sumi ensa domo bobia no competition bia no womo som womo say womo ye Inter Milan omo beje and some that you see omo now so and no ayasema and also free na so de bana wonim sa Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper na ye fan some Vicario and no ayo Guglielmo Vicario ayobia report am say kan say Inter for no and some abaso mo fa no adene ko say womo shall planning nyame ya no masema womo nya kwan anka bia Jan Soma no womo jano kwam na kontina womo boy so camp ada so kasa womo abasa Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper no womo so fa no adene ko ay update e free amaso de anano pe no and some I was show no so ay dey ay update and dia kan nyina no and some adema onim say na ye kasai medical ya to just say party wo ka player ba ko owo form pa enom ay Hendrick our born ball and so anima Olympic Lyonnais na Hendrick asema ye kan no je meminya sese an say wonu ya say was one 1 billion say wo ba be dia grana say bia say o ko mu kroma krobia o ba ya busa ha de ya media grow Hendrick kasewa wa ma France eso ba be dia grow our Lyon club ni mo wo ba so ro ball wo ba so be she goals na fe wonu some age aye titles and so and you see the national jumana kwada ne boni nyina no wonu after the game aye san catch no pressure Hendrick she go and was say aye 5 games wa she 5 goals and 1 assist ama wa je aye man of the match ba ko ebiam wa je aye Lyon omu player of the month award ni nyina no was say Champions League no ha Lyon supporters ni nyina ba back aye Real Madrid sanso ana owotiri say Madrid supporters and so omu backing abema aye Lyon awo Europe animo sansa ko na nsa ho anu onom aye adwuma chese no dwumadi a wono som adini nyina no kamia isa amsa Madrid ampanfo no womani aso omani Argentina womudi omo support ama Madrid no womo som ade omo dia abema bobo kwa no Lyon awo Europe animo anam aye sere Hendrick no whatever onom sa boy no wodi twa to say we be return to Madrid na just omo a womo ya ne paw ama ya say I Chelsea for the just amante na wamo teme da se abraw na omamo kraso ebeto dasa Chelsea for say ebia 70 to be 80 million pounds bi wamo som that be fa Hendrick kabesansa adwuma dalap mu ye dia play wamo say ofamo wuri aso kwa na ya hyase ensom da bogum ani adram makwada no wo say yama to twa say wo ba return to Madrid ano aye ba bi obakwa kwato aso na Ashraf Hakimi mbeke say oba me say le classique no enom aye weekendi Paris Saint-Germain womo anu Olympic Marseille omo game I was a bus and Hakimi aba mesie na mparifo no say 2 game ban no bako aye suspended na just say eno omo de ahye fridge that bia no was an kodi red card and faso bia no subia ma one back activity ade aba ana ba ko no de oppo I was so 7 no am sanity anya yi ebesi aye le classique eso our brand weekend omo game eba so no anya de se player ye fan say Ashraf Hakimi betimi abo aye sa match ni bi ama chese no aye kakra fi ama so ye bana Newcastle for boy na your friend Anthony Gordon report to me nyano so boy and one game no womo be so mo chasa wakakopra na Eddie Howe coach ama Newcastle wonim sam Eddie Howe coach no what ya to just say akwara ni pro no am say a hamstring na agena hamstring as I say and no some akwara no manager no say want to just am say looky bad bad pa na or say or share mu sa no and she don't look so bad also bia wo hwe sra bi osiso no na ne atede a wo be kase bia look bad na mom manager ne tiri ba so no de ofusa anya de se be look bad ano aye se de manager for so Eddie Howe one some ase hunioma ya den update and some ma ya tell for enano pai and some I was show no so na and no Man City for game and no baba so Syria qualify one more ade ko aye Carabao Cup final omo and Arsenal and aba ball nyame ya doma aye 26 2nd of March, report to Amensa can say Enra. I will almost stadium na empty seat and some our cup game. I'm saying Biana Mon and said ya city free and some other qualifying at the Biana Sanra. Wash a stand cinema. Now baby tata on like a Man City Empire Bomacho Fiena Ebiani Pashanamano, Ebin some across Enra. Now manager Fanci Pep, I say, baby on command way pano. I say Anyabiano Carabao organizer see woman abatiasie. Ama chesa magay aba final no. And I say amon chasia Pep Ekasai. Emano permit baso say sa club aya investment our player mu etueska scan ejeska ketwa nam amado kokofa player so adana ba abasa kwambia so timi ya juma ensom amani tim ena mobasa mo chesa ai ontimi mo anasan kodi kampai ansana mo bo aya first leg adia and yanka boy na qualify wantimi ama wo ba ansana ombaba return leg no not just automatically omo na Pep every year wakotena say ensom ama post match conference ebiem ensom abaso ana coach na say one kaso ya we he enya de ombeti ase ama boy na bo but obaso kan nyina no say wakacha ni players no akacha Man City for say also mo de letter ekotum na omo bia kwama player ye fa say magay about final against Arsenal yentie Pep Guardiola.
Apparently Man cannot play the second leg that game because didn't play the first, and Antoine right before the first could play, but now it's the final. Why should and not play? So why not? So he's a player, we pay his salary, we hire him it's our player. Why should not play? It's like a quite similar Champions League, right? The last 2 games cannot play Mark on the other one when we have an our player. So they make the rule when is the transfer window is open or closed. So when I close, when I have a player, is tomorrow have a game, I can play. No, it's logic. So hopefully I can play in the final. Apparently Mark cannot play the second.
You say now Man City omo coach I find sa Pep Guardiola ono and I tell say ya den accepts Emma wa prior cause manager and so e hope say na kwata na ya find sa magay e betimi abo aye final game na and so abako so any adeba de menya nyina no and so na chesa akwada na nya de a wono e betimi abo sa game e was ba so sansa me no ka say report am say kan nyina no say wo mo abaso mo cha say EFL empanfo no enchange emra da say embia deba me chama chesomo ensom abogam de atia bobokua ye fa no say Arsenal no nti awasa akwada no ensom abani atita benya de so mama kwan ama chese sane o mani nyina no eno som abaso ntia from panfo no wo mo kwan ama player ye fa no say magay ama boss match ni bi ano eye update free na so ye ensom atempa awa brano prano eye kakra de tutwa ye de ama ye chefon so awo show no so na ebiem no wonum say de menya no no penso Chasa, or Fanci Bernardo Silva Ayobia, one of some Akrakopra. Now, manager Fanci Pep, I do to Jase. Nyamia, my weekend game against Liverpool, and Yasa Bernardo Silva Sakema, and no Ababasuna. Almost say, why you're doubtful now, or you're doubtful in Nano, one himself Pep, as I twasso, and some Asakasa Savadier, what him said, yes, so fano, one of some Asian in Yoma, and will send himself so far, so Ayobia can be also, what about try and some match way. One ebenya bi abo Man City ebo Liverpool na ono Bernardo Silva emo sa match ni bi na ye no one say ana me woten mpan sam da bai ento ogiri basa Silva yo bi a emfo se bi ono for now why doubtful our sa match ni nyina mu no wo se akora na be try say we betumi abo game ama Man City against Liverpool eno ensom ay update tabana yenim se nyame ya ma final no ay Mikel Arteta ene ay Pep Guardiola na mame the last 14 games between managers and me no ultimately Arteta buyer na prepare recorded defeat emu obabi no benya draw we be din kunim ba ku bi so mu and we benya draw me no bi to aso din kunim aya ba ku bi a chese no nyina ne nioma eno so akwaso ntomu ne a chese wo hwa right from October 2020 and some other ba September last year na chese nei Mikel Arteta out of the last 14 aya matches no we winning makum you know and our draw draw mako aye 4 na chess aye 6 and some I don't know chess 8 akanin no aye defeat and ora ye fano some Mikel Arteta some achoke against aye Pep Guardiola this time a bit different our brain woman some game abasuna make demete yes say omunyan confirm ye dear say be a manager of the month award abasuna mono report amenya na person actually say Michael Carrick Manchester for coach no Manchester are nominated I'm say confirmation ababa enche bi about adwuma Michael Carrick abo washe City abashe Arsenal washe Tottenham Hotspur ansana yera aye the month of February mu dia o kan bia so woni abache manager of the month we ni actually bia no manager of the month award abako simple crowd yama aye Michael Carrick esansia ka say no wo say ya nominating ya twen say wo so aba confirm aye said ya list no ensom abasiako na Manchester for no wo target plan say wo metimi qualify top 4 said be a UEFA Champions League no wo so betimi abobi na sa kobasa man you ye kan wo so betimi qualify top 4 adia report amenya no sir Jim Ratcliffe just one no ensom aye coaches a shareholder at Manchester team no one abepa so aba spend by £200 million our transfer market no ye can £200 million no and I amount our per se one some other top players and so other basana be a man your man so I find them I bobo kono wa brano pen I update and some not free or maswaya and the banana pen and some our show no so some no ya the to anano pay and some jamana my man front one him say our Manchester fans will be no one baba so much say Juve akodana ye fano canon show this and one say amu asante ama akodana bonu nyina no de menya no say man fano so nya pray na ye say man fano kasa twa omobo e de ato akodana so na man evaluation one some adama show this aye somewhere 100 million euros in tomodie government transfer market tabie na omode 100 akoto juwe mpane fo say one show this agnaba na omo otiri sa kwambia so akoda no wo so ebetimi afa no sansa nai man aye akono ba biem man asa ba jana na so a enom aye kakra omo so ye ensom ante ebana coach ye fano ana slot ono awie the press conference weekend wo mo bo aye Man City we aye gamer ebetimi aba either say Man City ebe close gap and I say be a Man City ebe ma gap no emu som a widen either say Liverpool and some other picture and the abasuro and as Liverpool ebe maintain omo position no and aye gamer weekend ebe cause ana slot I say you want to just na kwara na fansa Jeremy from Paul was a boy no any training this week and I just said this week on training dia na na just anya available for a Man City a match no Jeremy from Paul MOB and you one 2 and some player you found Joe Gomez and so was say over training now or training we are and who say biano bueno about ball and I say be on there what some about squad anymore not just a man options I'm one and some that me a choosy now many janabas watch us and they one more demon get better and better essence and what share Liverpool matches recently what about to Mr. Liverpool for no I'm say plus no say and quality are born and some are different. Now the boys and I get fitter and no and I'm at some performances no and you must some picture at the cost for any idea. Now did some the Jeremy Jacquet and when you know some makrano money ante send almost a canon near Dema a manager no was a player no matono was an rane kakano pay and some other post match no was it Yamatu Dasa Sebi Liverpool Panfono omunimi yo Sebi I wouldn't say it there that should be Van Dijk Ebeko was unprepared no Korea fina baba prepared that be cry omono woma dwen da papa I just Van Dijk ebedu baby aye there Liverpool ebe movie akwa ni mo Van Dijk ebe free Liverpool at life after Van Dijk no woma some prepare amanioma and so akwa fine e dia ma club ye fano say no and some just Liverpool na mame manager wa do wo dia dan say dia fa aye player ye fano say aye Florian Vet and wono say na manager na nkasa jatu say wo bia no say born at da kwada na no a when born bono ba bia ne tapa no ene sa akwada no why improve pa ye kasa bi a boy no off the ball Serbia Liverpool any possession Liverpool lose ball now Serbia yemra mama buana yen defend ni ade osena akwada improvement across ro papa akwada na pejaba pe ho ana asem ni nyina e won ntina ne atie ba se ne am say off the ball nyina na akwada no improvement and swaba over fans a slot on Florian Vet yentie no
even improve that much. First and foremost, always credit to the player because he has to do the work, not only on the pitch, also in the gym. And then as a manager, even if he is maybe physically struggling a little bit in the start, you need to keep on playing him because that's the only way players can improve. And he is an example of that, where I had many of them this season. I think he did not even improve that much on the ball because from the start he was special on the ball. Maybe now he has better connection with his teammates because he played more and more together. That's also what you get if you play them more and more together. But off the ball, I see the biggest improvement with him and with some others, and that combination makes you ready for the Premier League because the Premier League is about both. It's not only on the ball, it's also definitely off the ball. First and foremost, always credit to the player because he has to do the work.
Yeah, the Premier League say be a bono and as a bon anywhere unya both nimiano no and now could an improvement and so up no baso coach and fan say and a slot the man akwatana your fan of Florian Vet amacha say no update tanano pay no yet ebana when your first time American about to just say Chelsea for no and so monitor akwatana your fan say Julian Alvarez our born ball and some adema ayewo kwa Atletico now obekai somebody can be a story somewhere some weeks ago America say woman ready omo tiri say be 100 million Atletico for the beche nanka be a Chelsea for at the point abesansa woman yan ntama akwada we samano na adwumbe hey wo bia be ya ba se betwe man fu enyom betwe chese Arsenal nom wo som ani abre ani ateba dem say kan nyina no say sereri kan betu da Chelsea for no wo mo use Enzo Fernandez omo say sabrei and I was Enzo extra ayane cratcher pa I was Enzo Fernandez extra say ni kromuni enso anie won ton London ama boy no normal boy who say London kro emu ode won say ni Chelsea won dance here enso ntre aye Julian Alvarez say aye club of boy will be agene fel so emu ode wo ba bo no benya bia bo ani adoro kra no wo bo matches afro no ntena wo mo say adwo no so ya hye aye player ye fa no Enzo Fernandez ensa wa brene wo mo twen say bi ono ebetimi akonverse de menya say Michelle wo ma di kantin commander adia kan nyina no say ebe kwa ni mu amasa move no eno enso abasoa Gabriel Agbola ho essay ye want to just a delap ono Chelsea na amfa because o kan say delap yes so baba Chelsea o be kan say Chelsea na e too early bra we no anka bia from Ipswich now come be to say Everton no akoba no aben wo ho now wo di ababat obi abedi no kra boy no move straight from Ipswich and so at the baba be a friend say Chelsea no bantam toto eba sana yana manioma so bisi basadema club ntian and no emfa ni nyina nam say too early adama akoda no say won so na je so ababo enso adiama Chelsea omutim na no kakra fina so adeba na mami Atletico Bilbao na so no Athletic Bilbao enra wo so advance omurum awon ye fan say the semi final when your Copa del Rey na Nico Williams and the bra Iñaki Williams and omo ya juma pa na after the game na Iñaki Williams I say you want to gasara season way season back also moon say bibia be kama na trophy way very important and some other my team no and omo die soon you know so they say woman some abaje Copa del Rey and some adama be ba team no na omo busa no was woman coach and father said no stop Valverde no omo bonaba so pa na coach no obi ankwada no obi ya dano obi ya penasa omo no say coach no e kas omo mu ban a omo man say be a one year for 9 bomb ama one embua wo be sense o se wiase no you bu ma do ye edema untini pa no wo betim do sakra de ahyegem ensom ade ama sani pa no wo say adru san level for ade coach no be ka bia no wo nsom abeye na ne akuma na ye fa no Nico Williams akona no de wo say won koye surgery ono nso a on rest or the bubble ball ade ama be ba wo sana bia be ba wo tim no wo nsom abetimi akwan ni mu no ana so obi anim se ne nua ba ma no wonom esitie wo bia no se be ba wo aye club edana kuma so pa na koda no aye 100% committed and so adama be ba wo tim no wo bia no se World Cup ba ayampa World Cup ba but wono odi kan ka ja no se surgery de onkoye ne na enkwa no wotena ana de te no se koba sempodiam nso kan se Nico Williams no kwa no wo mo de atodwa se rekwemu Pubalgia se wote yawo sa onti yawo sa ba aye semi final ba bi aduna mu odin emfa an opponent abebawo ebe draw no wono akwada no beginam ensom abo adiama club na ye fa no bebawo eno aye asema advantage a ye fa no se Nico Williams no wono nsom ade atodwa ama chesa ho update no nyina no ye de ema ye chefo enano pay ensom awo show no so ebiam no ensom aye test again wono sa na test again se afedo obekwa surgery na because nanu ya no wakwa surgery atena fie ba de ho wunu asana aba betudwa se weekend ye twam ya no obo game ama gironya wono akwako probaye woma jono so ama cheso settle in quick na so be adru no awoso osan kona akwa surgery eno aya announcement a goalkeeper ye fa no say mark under test taken no ensom tari atudwa na jamense kan nyina no say owe fa no say wala porter abato na enche bia Barcelona omo presidential elections ababasono yesene campaign why be ebebi atwam we use strategy na obekai 2003 wonom ayesa or David Beckham ababa womoto aba emano Leo Messi nanu ya 2021 oyese se omoto aba na mana womo Leo Messi atena womoto mano ekwawi ase womo ja Messi kwan emane koi report amenya no say this time uni abeso use Julian Alvarez at the campaign because and a boss and be a catch so why ye Alvarez and they run over so you see a yakwadana fans of Julian Alvarez now what the campaign celebea woman will qualify so much to abano woman some about to have 40 and so at the amana make a show say Lami Yama say we're in attention at their free social media so on for so be and so crano one shadam posti at a second and ABM Michrem Emanano pay say by them I say a only football and our person ordinary attention and some echo not say the ama decision way as a banning in understand and found Sakwadano over 18 years oko Barcelona womo dressing room yes womo consider say I am pennyphobia and your penny as in age nemum ye come womo call a shot our Barcelona womo dressing room womo kasa empuna and empuna na womo consider Lami Yama say one also I heavyweight to say oh your penny nebia we leader leadership by example ntianye also tetene maybe so now we focus on born and ntina makoda nei won so mari attention nyina no e dia ba aye football no so na de Lamin abeso twere nyina no say Ballon d'Or no anya obsession e ma no say bia chinchina twan hye wotirim say mbesa me je Ballon d'Or or say Ballon d'Or aye award bia the more na wo twen ho no wunya answer ne da e ma to the you okoso focus we born boss so be titles ama Barcelona we be Adiama Laryea and no aye Spain woman national team said be adaka ni nyina no and some follow suit and some German and no aye update about Vinicius and pay one so be drew aye Madrid on training ground some a training session make us say crown and some so aircraft after Samra we so hypoxia mask and some other training no and no public training session any day and some akwasopa na report to amenya no say sa fan na wokoto kwadu and asanko de ball Vinicius amukobo Albacete e match no we can see Mabeka trust now ya no wo ma huni pakro na punishment ebeko ensom adiama no court report amensa can say Sports Violence Prevention Committee wo ma propose 5,000 euros fine wo ma fama sani pan ufiri mu fia wo chena bi wonko stadium ankoto kwadu biem ama wo yonkuri pase sabi o tuntum enu into Dabi, I'm proposing a 5,000 euros. I know you're fine. One some Abasi Atema, a Sandy Plano. Now, Ballon d'Or, and some now bookmakers. One of us, much as and some now ranking in here in Mbappe and a Dicania Ballon d'Or. Woman today about Sobian come out for 40. Maybe as a penalty about Twaso. Now, Omodiama in Mbappe. Anan Kebenya in Mbappe Lamine Jamal Adam Yenu Hurricane Eltosomi Ensa Ellen Haaland and I fourth Declan Rice I fifth and Ensia I Rafinha Nasana Kaya Declan Rice and Crano as a Benham HM player your father Rafinha and no I said your new message here our Brenano Peno yet the update and the Akanino and some at the Emma young Francina Fiamma Kwame Fonomana Yamatwaso this I Wontumi Sports Buffet. The digital satellite, so Jumajumo, Ombre, now real quick, on my menu, may not fee. Young call you new. Sir, be I find it. Yeah, come on. Okay. Steve, someone so way. And now, if you have a Cosenra, the coat in the 2 and a pass of green. Hey, what's that? And I am for C for first capa. I multiply more. Until we are now the responsibility no answer to. I bet with money you can afford to lose. Oh, GG can say we call water be now a fire assuration. Inti, bibi aboko. Mike, now where? Fancy nyame ado bibi I come. Laryea say. Wo, new young kwe. Yeah. First of all, stories now here na yentimi empikini nyina enka about you do stories in a chia. Best your fat time in Mamma bought me some so quickly. Let me pick my first story on Pep Guardiola. Carabao Cup or qualify or semi-final or qualify from semi-final or final. No, I think I need just 7 Pep Guardiola now. This season has been very tough. It has been very tough in everything Pep Guardiola now. The asset Diamano. Ever since Obama City, he's always been trying to do something very different. Now this season, Diano. Akwa baby I say a transitional point to be my Pep Guardiola and I said the time I saw I said the time on so I say Jano Kwan I say Jano Kwan I say ne Brenna by me and young teens is so well in Famobia. So question man for Busa say oh after so club and the slot special the Liverpool no now you're the official takeover from the 2 managers and I say oh and the slot there no and your punchy break be no between back of or you who the for now. So all these questions will continue to linger at the back of every football fan or follow English football. But maybe my point to say open one disciple what drew numerous successes or enjoy success on any club the project the action is as one yana a drew breast as what swaba pa me bonabaswa Mikel Arteta Maresca Trianya maybe or starting one chairman and fan career he can speak to titles so I say but then talking about projects say your man trust say your Jumani yan count clear at look yo Mikel Arteta was saying no about attacking football all right but what you can compare the Arsene Wenger airborne yes Arsene Wenger is so extreme attacking football there Van Gaal when you know about attacking football but every day we keep saying the differences but me I say we no disciple now what's in on there me can't teta yo
when you pep ye it be of a mentality of how I will visualize it idea practical the many players in it say only say and say no or baby far mic the bar and now speak at the bar the training ground so say because they quite Anfield he wanted to visualize the environment and what Anfield no for the players in the training ground say okay James okay kweku si form okay passing in term okay in term rana will be anti amani how never be a kono a west a son of Pep Guardiola so football but ideologically and Pep way na obone de no field so na sana teta bone ball na impono but be a Pep Guardiola sorry ba no felipa na ho na teta why very much successful but be a Pep or society pa no ho na teta ho kire kakra yes. But in terms of recruitment, maybe an Pep or struggle pa are getting defenders. When I tell us where they pa Pep no ya there in buying attackers, midfielders. Okay. I tell you, no attack at all. No attack at all. But check the defenders no do mobano. The left back one anytime be with me Calafiori with me a ball Lewis Kelly. None of us saw ball in Capie. Only moment or boy Hinkapino or born against opponents from tough. Not just a strong but a more attacking fullback about call for Lewis Kelly no. Jumaya Mikel Arteta you from 2019. In 2018 no. Or then the boss Pep Guardiola mo J Cup Carabao Cup will be the free Arsenal. Na eya kwese destiny ba ho kakra because omujiwe no call Arsenal no efiri ho no why se meteme ho onto ho meteme ho yaw Pepper bo Arteta sa until the last 6 games he Arteta winning me ensa aka no e draw we no e hang in equilibrium as me jaw kwansa ko ba mi nya omu sa uye yi amepe ba me fa me so nya yi Sana Mikel Arteta ne Pep Guardiola ayonko fana kwa koye. Ope boy na sempa, ope Mikel Arteta sem. If he wins today, EBEN de ba on pese EBEN yam so fan win it. Na ni so na fofo no bebre crowd sa mentality no. Ah we zeli. Obe ye but so oya be cross so Arteta bill right now. Yo, 2021-2023 City titles na ogie ni na no tete Arteta. League no yaka nka bia de be kasem bia club odi na ni ma bobo ni din no City. Sanka in City ya. And now you ask and slot today of fire say djuma na we know say afina slot to ye djuma. But you can power ha Mikel Arteta me sure say do na be kase o and slot kan ho. Obaka Pep no aka club. And slot on ye Arteta bibia. But Pep the end the a hadwene and a more apparent, a more visible because on it no. Ideologically Arteta fan be different. But akakwan ka Pep begia tum say Arteta the title no be. Even EPL no kra no Arteta America o twa na be ripo hu no ye. Pep Guardiola. But imagine me say Messiah ka sembi before Chelsea game no say Arteta me gina ho free Liam Rosini and Semua ehunu isi woko e be trigger to the trouble or double be by our the Pep okay can stop Arteta how be you no free Arteta he would still have to look forward. Arteta will still have to look forward. Pep be hano because look Pep knows a league controlling in the hole. When you say Champions League, Obaka PSG ne, Madrid ne, Arsenal. Yes, Obaka to Arsenal Corona ho Champions League no. Pep, yeah, we are all here. Obeha Arteta Carabao Cup no. On money for easy da. Once was started kasa say Mrabe nko no akoto player sala mama gains me more final no. Na obi opeso oboa o aden wo hwehwe the best players e aba o say ne dress manya do bebobi na defender no na obon pass o mokose samra no na wakoto na utu ya card so future. He wants every Arsenal within the weaponry to function against Mikel Arteta. na me enye mo ase touchla ho bi kala tata bi no enchia na saade mo bi mutumi esi ntokwa ene be no atata agire ho. If you really want to step out of Pep Guardiola, you say Ateta decided no day other coaches be on press conference for body yam kakra and ma Ateta nya ho brase 100%. Pep nya ready so be jana kwan. Unless on one who the person channel. On the fossil field no so.
See Akomeah say wapon but menshra no wa force upon.
Oh yami shra me.
Nyame ne shra nipa.
This was genuine feeling some mohunu. After game no press conference I got to shot and my Pep kakra. Na fe who say me so wati kwaso. It has to be that, yeah. It has to be that because oh hano. And now a dry season and my Pep. Oshie the season e kono a dry season the my Pep. On one part this time can discuss a treble and double one in come home. Discussion favor Louis Enrique last time out no. E ke Pep Pep on come no. You catch Champions League e money di hosa. EPL money di Carabao. I mean the final. Who is that guy? We call Teta. Omienu di but Mikel Jedia I feel some name Isaiah be adwene na chese Champions League ne EPL no emu BSL no so betimi akọ o se Laryea ma ani aba ne ho so se afede obeye kronkron na obebo brapa de bo na akọ no hunu a gift Nyankopon de ma edipa no na akwete se ebo I share sorry gold share boom. When say gold the other day and sunny assume nyina no shen bia ne free boom na edeba o. The process of purification no be mo hunu how quality of gold no eye. La me no wo process no on galam say no anwa no gusuro no mo de su na eba na ohun yi tuntum bi finally no mo de ade be keka som. Esika ho dwuma no mo ye no. Ono sako be twa won say we manate. But before the who says can you know a young anya la media no ogusua all done a Jew or Jama Barcelona for the way you know popo yo I mean can me show your elements of your profile Yakupo to me ma be 10 otimima 8 otimima be 3 otimima be 1 Yakupon otumi obi na mienu nyina but meso man na benkum nko a de odi benkum nko a ye no obo na mienu ontumi fanye but Giroud dia de pana Giroud wo oye all time top scorer de ma France kakra dia me de ma no no de awuwura mu atwa Michel Platini Henry Zidane Saviola ni na mu an obe French top scorer Giroud the talent way but Lami more talent no yawo but in the age ne kasemwa see ya yedi nkomo yide oka the best dribblers no ho ni age no uyi omoni go sha nimnyansa around the box or far ball no be area no you can expect a goal Lami so e wo hono general playmaking creativity which of course subset dribbling and skills Lami so hono so ohwenu aim send the development no ba bia aka no anan ka akra na uhu say onya fanka oye na nifa ene neti let me use so utility ade ori actuality ori ti craping ball asa be ha no ya onya dubre na utility ne na nifa use but ne nine left no or the pass ya hunu du obetimi aye or the shoot or the dribble or the enema bebre ti me hu say so hwe no hu ye pa aided by other factors this guy can be a super player. Other factors in the B and a how could do no. Other factors in the B and a how could do no. Kudus or when Yaman Mabu was soon to do na but check if you so free ayas because how many coaches are forming him. So he's not going. Nekono I say so la media no or passing or shooting or dribbling or creativity he has a lot. He's still growing. And yana fofo na be sewa ayensa ana masem sane manema dio we ne be stop o yawo nyala mi nkwa na meka kire no so ka ho sana de na kwakoye enye stop no nyina no ene ma bobo sui but sane ne ba na ho so dia yawo so be it
Wontumi
oh super talent I'm telling you
because the people feel say messi mo pejade ba o Barcelona hono kra no one more time now social media in so to say in the social media na babejina because how many times na bon say you miss mu a posty any other and say why are addicted to media no. So I have for some few months, even last year, before say I'm about Chelsea game no crowd benyina kwa no one should then post gidi be an alami nampa. Oh yes, any the can be some penifone ne be kasa ne club no. So mo guide them. What giant sanu mapina.
Ya no krene say ye kokoa mu abrabo. Ha ye dodo sin de epia ni so. Ye private life. Edinya. Social media de nya na hala mi pa o. Eni ma camera so.
Okay.
Social media so be post ehu ne kasa ne ye say satan wada. Chama na be kasa ni nyina no wada. Eni ma na emma camera so ma ye hunu no yawo. Eni na edi Laryea. Okay, ma me mu sa asem bi. Social media say kasa eni ha display messi mo start here. Christian Tony Isaac Wenkamo. Omo hefa sa ankra bia na eba.
Yes.
We are kekichimo no. Since omo nyina mo ne messi ne siso. Yeah, esoro kono yin social media. Social media is just an iota of the distractions. But me say ni maybe ho footballers no mo ye ne kokoa mu. Footballers. Omo private life wa. Yana sorry to use this example. Shisha back camera so ane ye keka. Shisha de say okosoro ha boys ye mo no na wi nyina. Footballers they have their private life and na twa mo sign. And my camera so cram you hunu bi. Omo party na say wa. You need to see that. Because they have access to money. We know Jeho 18 years no. Yaw. Monday and yaw de ochina na counted them. The second dem so nye sikaktua. So anya moral control e be very difficult. Ye mu dodo say na yaw ye ba no. Ni moral control.
So the anka Friday bia ye $100,000
Fisunyane na beba djuma kumase. Come de na tono. Come fisunyane na beba djuma kumase. Every day. Come do 7:30. Me late so ntama me de badjuma. Me come fisunyane na beba
every Friday $100,000.
Come fisunyane na beba djuma. Na me baso police barrier bi o kwa no so bia mbura wo gina me amenchia me mask kan metwam. Me bosho no metwam. Aba mo nyididi na mo ye adwuma. Because Fridays can saba. Aba mo nyididi. Barrier bia no have no me come do 2 minutes crowd. Me bosho wa no metwam. Ya o jama $100,000 Friday bia. Ne ma yi
ni o wo dia na bisa wonye Laryea dey so much more than that.
I remember the American 100 na dey kan no. What fish nyane na baba. Champion okabi e kwa ne huri say no. The time is a time so from. Wrangler visa out to you. Even can fish nyane baba. Oh, yawo nyame e ma osika na ohia moral control. When nya moral control na be yedin. Okay, yes.
Well, Steve Bray, Ansan Mabamizao.
Yeah, oh yeah. Story be about the leading candidate for the Ballon d'Or. I think we should let the World Cup decide. I'm of the view that there are certain years we shouldn't award the Ballon d'Or because, in my view, players now are more nominated to be anywhere who deserve Ballon d'Or. So, if a World Cup year they are anchored down to the World Cup to decide who becomes Ballon d'Or, because if you know share clips we now call 2006 now share World Cup Portugal, England, we share Brazil, France, we share teams about the Komu manage more Paulista more Bobo no now share name players be a one to near Bo Mudin say the most prestigious award or individual footballer say omuni ebo omudi say Ballon d'Or. I feel there are certain years we shouldn't even award the commercial aspect, the marketing aspect, we should just skip to the year news because for Ballon d'Or there our level be was a bobo no do level be ansana ma within ban Laryea ma be ya see ye traveler back be say Ballon d'Or no. So they should let's just the World Cup decide who becomes the next Ballon d'Or winner. Now, yeah, you need to live to appreciate every moment of your life. And then Pep Guardiola ne Mikel Arteta Carabao Cup. terms of prestige of trophies, no, Carabao not that form them and can be cry. But then the competition, by king. Our managers are judged by whatever is available in tea. Pep Guardiola nay. I question why and the center back be more Carabao Cup. Previously, Carabao named those cups no near the French players neighbor. But when the competition are cover. Now maybe we can say when you fail to appreciate growth, you create a problem. Pep Guardiola who said there has been growth in manager on a neighbor born. Into me underrated. So whoever is present to play for him to win a trophy, he's ready to go all out. That is how our football now be drew. Into managers we can save their jobs and as a image with a trophy. See, and this season now Mikel Arteta and the trophy. The calls will come in for him to be sacked. See, this season, no any season way. Yes, Oluzi, the Premier League, Oluzi, Carabao, FA Cup, Champions League, I wouldn't even take us now there. They'll be cost to get him sacked. How many years now spending? The 70 and away. And Arsenal I call big. I break it bank to play about £100 million. A figure they was a trophy bar. So on the scale of Newman, when your trophy Bianca we hear sir, but I bear a trophy of importance to these two managers and no more here involved. Hendrick, you know, Adena Oya of France, no. You see, the Brazilians are calling for number 9. And in a period that I switch I call the era of traditional number 9s, you know, a very important so another number 9. That is what they've been searching for. Into Freddy Bibe Bobby, I think Luis Fabiano, Ronaldo. They've been calling for the 9 shirts, and they say, why never fire in the year? Now, what should be in here, Brazil since 2002, Angel World Cup and Ibida. No, I share the transfer business of Brazilian talent from that time up till now. Then you appreciate why Omako periphery, Achesa. It's a final no crano or Wontumi Kodru. The Europeans will continue to be smart. In the game of chess, they are always up there. And they say, Brazil for dominance, no, Omoko far players be free by at some point. No, Munina, Ajidin Accra, Palmeiras, Santos, Flamengo, no Mumacho or Moloka league in him. But see a bit dominate here. Then we need to be searching for more talent, best talent, and potentially I want to ever the heir to the throne of the great Omube film. Into our European business now. Now say Wontumi Brazil, FR player of 15 years. Omu Febin term 16 no ma fanaba. That period in a period that yede programming whoever. Into FR Vinny Junior about the early age. Yefa Rodrigo. The tuition of Benyano are purely European football. Into Samba Flare and Mbambe High Beam. Near Europe suffer from Samba football. That flair flamboyant football. And I know they home from the 90s ever. Into a Obi Kasa or say Samba football nibium. A calculated attempt. Europe for the new money. They sat down and thought about this, and he had 4 players in the Brantham. Into the last player, I was so, or my flavor of Samba, Neymar Junior. Typical Samba game, no noble. Before him, Robinho and then Ronaldinho, they were doing it with ease. And you would want to know why Brazil are the most successful nation at the World Cup, no? What got 20 plus years. Now find out why their manner. Check the production line of their talents and where you transfer Omokoi and the age of Omodekoye. Inti ati said the Omofa raw material and free her. Koko de the say we are sorry so you ever born in Tiako. Ye didn't even find your bibia. Bembra na dani had the fufro. Until you pick your raw material at a very early age. Yeah, man, European football knowledge. Into see about on the world stage, they are actually better than us.
Yeah.
It's not a samba football again. But we are a traditional centre forward. Look how good now, share. A typical street footballer.
Power no nine because even at Madrid last season and Ancelotti, okay, when your opportunity be that game of far ball from halfway line, so one few beer or smash a ball outside the box. Yeah. And then I do say power.
Maybe who know more of Adriano than Ronaldo. Senior move Tago. We don't say Bobby Charlton and idol. But you free to what? So he has yes, or finishing. But Madrid, I make the right decision to let him go to this club because the club Madrid, time and patience, it doesn't exist over there. So when you be building the confidence, look at how he plays.
So smash it by who come out goalkeeper no back to the ball. Power one and any bridge. Yeah. Samuel Tomudi and Eben.
Now to check. Oh, maybe on number 9. So Quencho is everywhere now. We can have a box room. Maybe on an saying, who has yes.
So he's a very good footballer. I enjoy how he's playing. And Omekino, Brazil debuted at a very young age. And to me, I'm fast man. But with such talents, I won't be here time. Our hawk shooting ability, me know more of Andrano. So Madrid, I was a jewel in waiting. But whether we bring a chance at Madrid in Nebede. Because of the business aspect of Kylian Mbappe, what he wants to achieve, the contract with the club, and then the decision they arrived at. So he will be the face of the would way back. He will not be assisting Kylian Mbappe. The proof and the game will not end. Yes, sir. He would want to score. So he may be a good player for Real Madrid, but in the foreseeable future, I don't think say Obenya stay at Madrid. Unless they be for reasons Mbappe will decide to leave. But
because maybe as I say Mbappe no. When Hendrick so any proper position. So Mbappe no better as left. So now they now they Vini.
Now here not Newton can say the evolution of players, say Bimo getting closer to the box. No munya the few good factor of scoring on consistent basis. They will not agree. So Mbappe so still on a prime, but obey a hindrance to this gentleman. I will stay at Real Madrid. So if any of the top European clubs now is searching for the next talent in terms of attacker, I think Hendrick arriving, but maybe Hendrick in the Brazilian national side, Vini Rodrigo Hendrick. Or the World Cup. And Ancelotti Ejuma Oye, the game on Senegal boy and a chess, the fast-paced football no obey because baby Brazil ejina idea. And yes, skill no motion. And yet the omode be at the end of it. That is why they switched to a European manager. And watch the matches now, Ancelotti ni omabo our friendly games now. You can see that element I will give him say they are so direct and they would want to win. So in June we will have a very eventful World Cup, and I bet one of the World Cups are Nanka Brazil asanko nenim kakra because in recent years I bet a story I because we'll be a football Brazil a factor because of how they play, but for over years now almost no extent kakra because of the European dominance. And they better say, nay, you a young boy in France, baby, so produce strikers. They have the record. The French league, I was the license of producing top strikers. So say, Hon Walker, a policy trade, as I re-announcing itself there. I think I had a fertile ground for him. And we are in for a beautiful Brazilian show at the World Cup.
Well, Mr. Steve. Mesa?
Yes, I'll be very quick. Yes. So I'll be very quick.
I'm a hawkesepa. Yeah, I think that every growth in this world needs space. That is a typical example of Hendrik and what he wants to do with his career. I think he needed a place where he's one particular player that I feel he's a very good goal scorer. But he's not exceptional. That is me. What am I saying? He's a very good player that could work his way to the top. I've seen players work their way to their top, but they are not exceptional. What they mention as they are quality players that have played football, went to the top. But the key word is being exceptional in terms of talent and all of that. That is why I rate players are all grade A, all grade B, all grade C. And I all world class players, they all elite players. And he has found an environment to look at the goals he's scoring, a lot of things that he's doing. I think this is a typical example of whatever Casemiro did when he went to Real Madrid. Or call fresh and name wedding and or call Porto loan. After 1 year, Obey started at Real Madrid. But the bigger picture of Casemiro and Hendrik's situation, different in the third position. I think for Casemiro, Okoba in the position of Betotriaka because Real Madrid were literally struggling to get players on dominant in that particular role. But Real Madrid again, unless it's just maybe after 1 year, Kylian Mbappe decided to be a Real Madrid no. Maybe only movie left in one ton Vinicius. But say Kylian Mbappe or Vinicius or Honoma or Bob saying another trouble. That is the reality. Because no matter how I be one baby no yaw. Players are on your mobile pre-position. Number 9, when nipa na ne be pre no. If you ask me na say yi players omudimba untimi nyine mfa nzinje. So when you come back, this is where I want to see how the situation will be managed. Just maybe Real Madrid could decide okay, Rodrigo or Vinicius be ton mu baako and the baako no kwa unu aba no aba be di ne dwuma na bibia ti ma be koye di ama no. But I'm happy for him. Say he's in the right form to have a place in the World Cup squad. Because you see, on the Brazil national team, no more starting no number 9 and Casanese almost so brave or Kakra, Ja Pedro or Bobby, but Ja Pedro a player bit me displacing or Brazil national team. No man, yes, yeah, what they mention as no Obianto position in the number 9. Matheus Cunha no 9 no but no bit me you know yes. Obianto position of Brazil national. There are few players are Carlo Ancelotti na ba bonte abeka say no. These players really oya me dey on start to my national team mu. Ba ko ye Casemiro. Ya oya ne dey. O say Casemiro a player o be start to national team ma bo. O tu mu time Kosoroba from he will be playing. Rafinha will be there, Vinicius will be there. But the number 9 position there, I think it opens up the conversation of who leads the Brazilian national team going into the World Cup. Of late, they've been a national team that has been in the downhill, especially when it comes to their number 9. Yeah, we 10 years in the floor. Number 9, no, I need more do my Brazil, but I say more gono. The more gono. After Fred Beshe, and I said, no, Massa, Bassa, some more Fred. Brazil for the din attempt. Luis Fabiano Abeshe Jesse Nibi Ronaldo Ronaldo Abeshe. You look at all of these players from Abeshe Brazil number 9 Jesse now. Now they will need to make a statement going into this World Cup with a proper number. Now is it Richarlison Neshe Emuemre? Ya Emuemre. Emia. Brazil pa na isi etimi agona abedru mmerbi number 9 no mu aye den se obenyo obi obetimi abehye sa agesi we aka se team ye koyi bibili amomo at the World Cup. But let's see what Hendrik will do for Brazil going into the World Cup. But I think for Lyon he has found a perfect place to help me up. But yo, me share John Duran bi anameraho. You see, I don't know the kind of people who are giving him advice. But there's a certain excuse that they be a worker. Maybe I'm a free buyer, no, and a wedding, and a baby I'm a free buyer, no. You see, yo, I understand that your geographical location from where you come can always influence the kind of decisions you make in this life. What did they mention as no? It will be taking decision on say me hwehwe me hono maso so me ho mini maybe I'm a free day. But sometimes that should also be enough fuel for you to move out of your comfort zone Comfort zone in this discussion we are making is to face challenges, to overcome challenges each and every time. And I Ronaldo no free. Ronaldo background to say the issue is Ronaldo never had it easy, including when ane papaya day. A free. The number of times he worked hard, but Ronaldo is one particular player who has never chosen an easier path. Skamata, but the challenges to bring out the best in you are very important. The first move I started doubting is I could always decide is Obeko Anna say. And I say, no, don't do run because to play from Colombia at the age of 15 years to 16 years, and Vigado, you would work for one of my Chicago Fire. One match, how many times do you see players moving from the MLS straight to the mainstream European leagues? It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Now, I had high hopes because all Colombia national team now, aside of more breedy players on my born on Matena recently, James Rodriguez, do a walk up now. There's no way you can talk about Colombia without their strikers. Jackson Martinez, Radamel Falcao, Luis Muriel, Duvan Zapata, Carlos Baca. So the line of production when it comes to the attackers and what they do, it is exceptional. And I had high hopes to say after Radamel Falcao, Jackson Martinez, this was a guy to take it to a different level. And they Luna Fenerbahce the Crusade before.
So Ocon fourth club in 1 year.
Yeah, what is this? Sometimes the decisions of these young people also Duran in 25. Now Duran in 25 years. Shane height, how bulky he is. Premier League now, he fitted into the Premier League so and trust you me. Sanka Aston Villa cry for Sisanko Mujana Kwaiso Mujana Kwamanakwa. There was an English Premier League club that would have picked him up. They would have even picked him up. And it's quite sad. Maybe a free bar and a debia excuse. No Kontokwa, no way Anna say Krawako Kontokanibi. No. Sometimes some of these players, it's good to sympathize with them, but in the long run, I think this is a talent that is gradually wasting due to an mentality and the mindset. Say a top number 9 like this, it be said by Daniel Free and Sano, especially when within the terrain, his type and profile are quite difficult to have it a lot within the system. Now I will say because height, back to goal, clinical. To be ball long range. Now Colombia ba World Cup ni na ka we expect say ka fuwi in the year. But then Nkolani nyine sign on the call. I just hope he realizes himself as soon as possible. I've seen players on do 25, 26. I already discover on form. I've seen players on 28, 29. I already discover on form on I'm only hoping that a talent like John Duran will come back to his senses and start playing well.
Okay. Well, may I say, Mr. Mike Bray.
Fancy, may I say, Yenchia will be I'm actually the day when you be, you baby, a co baby. I start, you start, you say, and sem na a so it means whatever words a free anoba, the inspired by a certain divinity. Nyamia awesome no. Tini ase show otekrema ye otekrema tune nareka and fanken bususem faken shrasem gu. So there are two powerful tens. A woni pebia awon wadwen otekrema. But there are also two essential tens. If you lose it, you are poor. My definition of being poor and yet lack of money. Say when niska and debi. My version of being poor is when you are robbed of hope. And that's what. And that's when you are there. Yes, because hope. If there is life, there is hope. Exactly. So the moment no matter the setback, if there is hope, you will definitely bounce back, you will recover. So processes BOBFMB, it may heartbreak, it may business or collapse, if you have hope, you are able to recover. The second one, you dream. Fancy, the moment you are robbed of your dream, you lose purpose.
Yeah.
Hope, ekele. So you will need to always have these two things. One way or the other. You might have a bigger objective, you achieve it. But if you are now a person or a doctor, but to some extent, you play the role of a doctor in someone's life if there is hope, and then you hold on to your dream. Sign your mommy anyway. If you lose it as a human being, you cease to exist. Maybe you become just human, but you can't be human being. It means we are existing to make an impact, and the impact can only be made when there is hope and when you can continue to dream on. A lot of stories to share along this line. He's operating in an environment that allows him to dream and hope for the best. The factors at play, and then the individuals pulling the strings, they are vision bearers. Sebe Joseph, he had to be reduced to that level. First as a slave, second as a prisoner. But he did not lose hope, and he kept on dreaming. His dreams and his ability to interpret dreams led him to where he got to. Exactly.
That's why we can now.
Can be anti as
here. Na grad ade krasa. We lose hope as an gonna swan she. Or from 15 years last year about 12 months. No, as I'm looking at what kind of no Mike, because you know why? We said they're working.
Which has what threw me off for cry.
Time break, no. And to say I the all start to say next year. You to free Europe by bar into dream that time.
Dream better than I got that call.
Yes, I know. What to actually baby?
You already man.
No, Joseph. Joseph.
And now who am I so? Now woman so make you Joseph. And now woman so.
Now Okwe fiase. And fiase no your man fear doom. Where was the hope? Where was the dream? What thou is Papa be more. And it's where maybe I would not share that. You see, I'm not. Yes, you are 12 months.
One blow church.
You
kept on dreaming.
So back to the substantive issue. Fancy. Hope, dream, the state of hopelessness, and then you being robbed of your dream is when you cease to live as a human being. You might exist, but you lose everything. And that's what everything is gone. But to ensure, say, your dream can be realized and then your hope can be fortified, you need certain environmental factors to be at play. And then Andre Kidiano, who is his coach at Lyon? Paulo Fonseca. Mesrel, mo shene mo tieno. O de fa phone. Ne Google the average age of Olympic Lyonnais 2025-2026 team teenagers nkwadan keten kwa Noah Nate Morera nkwadan keten kwa no di mpenifo kakra bi afra Niakate Senegal defender yobe. So the point is, he is a coach renowned for doing that. Omar Fonseca stars, he struggles to deal with them. But Omar no Mofra, nebo, his coaching ideals allows him to pedagogically impart on the players. Pedagogy, no. It means sa in Kodano improve your mobile nebo. Andrik did not get this at Real, even at Palmeiras. This one at Palmeiras, he was their savior. Oh, thank you very much. As of early 2026. The average age of Olympic Lyonnais squad for the 2025-2026 season is approximately 25.2 to 25.3 years old.
25 years.
Exactly. Now, omu breaking age ne down. Yeah, young players wom. 8 ones, Tagliafico, Tolisso, on side. But the younger talent, Malik Fofana and Smiama, but on court transfer market. Not only Leon Fono, almost squad, any ages name Fambra. Nobody clear the teenagers. So the point I'm making is, primarily, Andrick was seen as a savior for economic reasons and for sporting reasons. So he's a leader of the team. It comes with pressure. And also, M1 in nurturing, Yentimin to 2 years Emma Wumpeja. At Madrid, you step into a dressing room of established stars and proven winners. And you are failing to be time a tool for a church now. Because constantly at Madrid, the environment is shaped and the culture is designed in a way that you're budget, you're munch the bobo. But at Lyon, judging by where they are and how a situation is sitting, there is enough ground to make mistakes and learn. Go no shine run. But again, he missed a lot of opportunities, and then again, the performance was not as perfect as his goal.
Yeah, true.
But the encouragement is there. Bo say no. But what every footballer thrives on, the idolation. Supporters that is what he got after he scored his goal. So clearly, he's in the right environmental setting to allow for the growth to foster. And no dear you baby ako baby. A crudos wayent na fako na yenjin wenim gwase. But again, and send me na yenyamiasem. So speak positive stuff about you. Speak positive stuff about you. And that's Noham Kamara, or a center back on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, saying 19 years. You go through 22 that is Olympic Lyonnais, almost squad name. Away from that, Anna Slot, I can send be about a manager anyway. Made a screenshot and send this Shadrach. Made the video in Swakano. Liverpool YouTube page no more say on more round table discussion. So Richard Hughes, the sporting director, and a slot, then they were discussing the club this season and what has happened so far. Already caption on Sky Sports will say Liverpool boss believes style of play is worth more than winning trophies in the long term at Anfield. And a slot believes style of play is more important than winning trophies at Liverpool. Slot secured the Premier League title in his first season, but the Reds now sit sixth. Jamie O'Hara and Jamie Carragher says his job is a risk if they don't qualify for the Champions League. Yeah. Fine, no problem. I think it will provide the best contest.
As a manager, you can win the league, you can win the Champions League, you can win an FA Cup or a League Cup, but the biggest thing you can win is that you can play the nicest football to watch. Although at this moment of time, fans might argue this a little bit, but it is so absolutely something that I am aiming for. I always want to have the ball. I want it to be intense. I want the fans to like what they see, and that is something I dislike the most. I would almost say even more than our results, even more than the league table, that not all of our fans or every single moment of the game see us as a joy to watch. And the hardest thing is I even understand, because I agree with them. Trophies is one thing, but being a team or a club or a manager that stands for something, that stands for good football, is, I think, in the long term even worth more.
Contest ni say, and as Lord say, baller efe. Edana kuma so say club or no one Liverpool no betimi abo ball efe bejeche echitafu eni. Essence say short term no we need trophy back na okobe 2 years wa beje back the account. Where is he coming from? This is a typical Dutch coach who believes in systems. Playing fast year football is so systematic and procedural. say yahye say na what say. So in Dutch, in the Netherlands, a academy setup, Feyenoord, Ajax, you can escalate it to the Akomeah money idea. They believe in nurturing, playing a certain brand of football, and they stick to it. Are very stubborn with their approach. Into almost the same easily. And a slot came from Feyenoord. And at Feyenoord, they have one of the best academy setups. And then they emulate Ajax. In fact, Barcelona ne ball mu boni tiki-taka ni diabeji ni La Masia ni inano. It was imbibed from Dutch football ideology. Who he brought it? Johan Cruyff. He's a symbol of Dutch football. Anyhow, they believe in the concept and how football should be played. And a slot ni free set him never. But then again, there is an illusion that is a bit distant from reality. I said, "Dear, wow, trimming susuya uno." And this send your normal city and a bebra. I don't believe that nice football on Kwane the ball to a bonnet pa because football is an art. And at times, an artist may obey display, the art display no, inexplicable if you want to explain the method behind it. Obi correct me the brush, every fair for painting is not the abebo. No, be any jehosa. So if we agree that football is an art and again it's a science, then the approach cannot be the same throughout to describe what is nice and what isn't. In fact, the art of defending is also a specialty that brings some awe. It inspires awe. And man we need J. Wow. Chelsea a real season are conceded 15 goals in a season. It doesn't mean they did not play nice football, but they had a unique identity, a culture. Men Jana slot in Simon Kamano, but Semina American same way. I don't think I will last as a Liverpool manager if I play quote unquote nice football and then I don't win trophies. No fan will forgive you for that. This be our Brighton, who was Swansea, some of these middle table clubs who are less ambitious as compared to the big clubs. Nase our club kese ne club ne fapem ni nano was built on winning trophies. Every big club has a culture, and it's a culture of winning. No matter how you do it, the moment you are a coach and you are appointed to come and lead, you must get into that culture. Mourinho Beba Chelsea Babeje. Oko Real Madrid there was Sawoje, no matter the style. Minim style Real Madrid they about football. Minim, and again, even at Barcelona. Yes, they play beautiful football, but the moment it does not guarantee trophies, whether short term, medium term, or long term, you are left to go. So, and a slot in a nice football, no, and the proponents of Dutch football ideology, na yam fabon to form on pass and na over director, no yet, because he has echoed these sentiments throughout. And now mobile direct and mobile long balls, no mobile fast affect here. Playing football, passing game, no, it is not the only nice way of playing the game. Football is wide. Football, a huge scope. Winning trophies, a winning culture actually is what keeps you at your post, whether short term or long term. To me, but I have shown Kasa ye. Whoa, the old cannon, no. I have shown ye na dachi emuambo. I posted something on Facebook and the meaning so more picture now, screenshot on bet media to so. David Ronaldo. Oh, good. 2023. In the wake of time, I know I joined Saudi Arabia for Pejane Jint Nino. Ronaldo in an interview, no more preseason. I think they played against Otabigo also. That was a Saudi Pro League in the hair. And then for now, a papa crass Momo MLS now, Mokikawa Americano. Now, on will be a coin at all. And ma afofro, Saudi Arabia, Bebono. come in on the toes. Only fancy the Maria Nadine common and fancy Ebison say. Now Europe no Dutch Bunya was Ako. Maybe 38 years old Europe, they better. I am in a gusui. So Cristiano Ronaldo in 2023. The Saudi League is better than MLS. And I opened the way to the Saudi League. Now all the players are coming here. I'm 100% sure that I won't return to any European club. I'm 38 years old. Wow. January 2026, Ronaldo, according to reports, and from very credible sources, Onya Europe or Besayaba, and that's Onya MLS or Beko. Again, Nessie, again, Nassisa. Be careful. The words you say today could eventually come back to haunt you tomorrow. Say, the two powerful things will take Rema and the journey.
Whoa, Mike Mate, me da say, na Sharak mama me in tune and ya wada o how ye baso.
Yes, ma NGT Fubi. Now I think the subject matter of players leaving the country to different places to exploit opportunities, and this week I heard the talk of the town. Then another thing I would love to speak about, EBEN in the context of the Black Stars preparing ourselves for the match internationals, and the injury situation around camp, anyhow. We should open up the squad to get certain key players to join in and come and help the national team. So first of all, Nano Heart of Lions Ibebo game no. Ana Yebusa said Lawrence were in far. And the news that came out in say Lawrence go US. No my friend Lawrence in Peso Beba. This is the message we are getting on. Or my friend Lawrence is Lawrence in Peso Beba, or my friend won't Peso Beba. That means the contract with Heart of Lions as it stands currently. Monye na adwin so ba be for fail. He feels he needs to go and get a life outside the country. That is the message we are getting. But Yankomodidi so say Lawrence in communicating to Heart of Lions in any way, official way, say club na menye day. Me be man as a member. Officially. On communicating Trombe Heart of Lions, okay, fine, me no contract the interim. Give me the mintimate to us be mintimate bobo ne bi. Inti Montana mo baby na me so menye day. Maintain me baby. But me say Nkomodidi dey be because so one chain. There are going to be certain advices that will be given to him. But yaw, yes, crudo so yentena fa konfanye nim guase. In the country that we live in, your Fanci dream say even people who are working 9 to 5, 6 to 5, 8 to 5 are finding ways to leave the country and not come back again. Just because there's a certain belief and hope, say there's a lot of opportunities outside there. They will be able to live a free life. It depends on the kind of decision he will take. Say, be a mesa kobobono and intra contract man as a bibisa. But the whole bruha about the whole said matter, and a professional player, and a chronomo thing, and a league, no, it is about individual decisions and individual choices. Now, my won't call for a Ghana Premier League Nibia, a bit 5 years visa, but multi Ghana Premier League Nibi. Meboa. We've seen people Mukuta dual nationality in the Ghana Premier League, for example, Solomon Safutela. On a bedroom, not to me, but he was still here playing in the league.
Yes.
Yeah. Justice Biano could how many years for United States of America visa?
I also want to be a man.
Yeah, you see, the topic around here say officially has not communicated anything to Heart of Lion. What you say?
And I want to say,
but the kind of but the kind of pressure and the tarnishing of image of Akodano. That is it. Then there's a whole brouhaha, Anna Lawrence, Anna Ghana Premier League, no.
Boys in your office or Munko.
See, so Chan now, no near number one. No. So near Chan national team, number one goalkeeper. Now we call South Africa number one. Chan local blaster black galas is Ukrainian active beam.
Run to me.
Allow the boy to breathe. Momani breathe, momani home. And you're not the first player. If he decides to terminate it, or terminate it, or bet to us or bet to us all. But these are life choices that we need to allow some of these players who play in our league to feel comfortable and do. You want the Pakro Krabi and your brain and wow, boom yaw, and they yaw cast on the sun in your man qua, or be conquer. Ube do nothing or be froze bra, maybe any say. Yow, I haven't a Winyami power with the Black Stars. We are preparing for the World Cup. Metie Henry Asante Tuna Metie, the president of the Ghana Football Association, who is the second vice of CAF, on the preparations towards the World Cup in terms of technical additions and vision on what they call the World Cup name. He made a statement, now one day on a GTV Koye interview, which senior man Kwame Yeboah, Motinemo Mudisa Ankomo.
Writer.
The writer. Now, Nkomo Mudinina or say Ghana qualify for AFCON or more augmented the technical team. Ghana qualified for the World Cup 2022, more augmented the technical team. Ghana, as I saw, qualified for Wese Beam, number augmented the technical team. Henry Asante Chung now saw about Bontiabe Catcher say they will need to augment the technical team to help Otuado. Now that decision is very bold from the Ghana Football Association because Echere said they are ready to compete or going into the World Cup. Me as a Ghanaian, I'll be very much proud with the kind of way they want to go. But the question will be, who are they going to bring in? What process are they going to go through to pick these people? Because initially, Ghanaians have been disappointed with the first formula in terms of appointing Otuado as a head coach. And on the Premier Fanerie, the associate Ghana for but the quality and the weight of the technical team should be able to give us a fair idea on the kind of players we should take to the World Cup. Because the big question that Ghanaians phone bebusa obia dream be wasu nyina na say why augmentation no. But omo picky players are World Cup it will be devoid of certain things which to me I think say it has been the excessive talks of time whenever Ghana is going for a major tournament. Meaning say kasa wo Wontumi ntwaso free national team no. The free player A player B obi abenya ho asema kamejitum. But when it comes to a certain kind of trend be etwaso bebre and you say numbers back away, quality back away, character back away, all the things to move and go with the team to make sure say beti media results. No man funny pakrona. Then we create a lot of talks. My din yehwe sa me can say the last time I call the South Korea Japan friendly match no you utilize that opportunity ni because one I believed most of the players now omoka team no one building the core around them to make sure say blast like they be call World Cup no some of them should have been available. Number two, the number of players we should have given them the opportunity also to come in and come and test themselves, getting to the World Cup. But after the tournament, they made it clear to us, say most of the core part of the team there, they don't want to injuries and relax it. So it was an opportunity to give a lot of players the opportunity to come in and play, which is good for me. But I ask myself, most of these players are from also prove your mono. And do saying, they should have deserved a place in that particular squad. We need everybody, we need every single player on deck going to this World Cup. Especially when people are making a vivid argument to back players like Colum Hosnodoy. And you didn't get here. Some blasters say you have good players like that to put them into the squad. I think we need to open our tentacles going into the match international games, especially when certain players are injured. Key players near wine. The span of the Black Stars we've been able to build. Obia Abakacha is a Benjamin Asari in goal post. The centre back pair, Alexander Jukuni Mohamed Salisu. Yow, the double pivot, no be him say Yesibu, and Thomas Tepate. And then when Obia Abakasa about Jordan Ayew, and Mohamed Kudus, it can change with Antoine Semenyo, it can change with Inaki Williams, but anyone open two constant players ahead of any other attackers are Jordan Ayew and Mohamed Kudus somewhere fitter. Discussion I make sa two centre back pen back wepra and when akwa no Mohamed Salisu meaning say Yakoba World Cup in here there is no probability Kwampo so betima be bobi dia ma yana meboa. So there is a need to find a player that is not only come to test his resolve to be picked as part of the squad, but with enough quality and experience to complement Alexander Jiku, because Jiku ebe. So you don't only pick quantity, but you pick quality, profile-wise. I'll bet me a compliment Alexander Jiku. Number 2, when you come to the midfield, Thomas Tepate, no Abobi, no Mobi, no Abobi. We need to get players in that particular mix that could replace Thomas Tepate's profile. Yeah, keyword profile and the quality and experience. Then up front, Mohamed Kudus a prato match. After match, now we are all praying and hoping said there will be no setback. Said the bill betting me 2 seasons so. And the Ako World Cup na man yomako ye diamano. No so no kopen. So they've been subsequently moves from different players moving in by out and then we focus be center backs in the show. The next time we will come back no, we focus be midfield in so. Tell say match international break no, you be koni certain key players are in a nutshell yaw. There are not a lot of names that are being mentioned to them, but in a nutshell they are performing so well. In the absence of Mohamed Salisu, Obi to say Jonas Adete. So I'm very happy for him say one movie to VFL Wolfsburg. Obi to say Jerome Opoku, who has also been with the Black Stars. Then Obi to say Kojo Opon for Nice, France, I also about Bobby. But yaw, in the context of all of these things we are talking about in the Turkish league and everywhere. Now Salisu na film no back up abeka on yaw. Me dem hwemu dia na me players ahodoa na yebona Ambrosio so ho. But I think we should have a second look at a player like Nicolas Opoku.
From the beginning,
we should have a look because you say now Nicolas Opoku one particular player. And you pen and me push your man and say because Ambrosius Munina, these are guys who are proving themselves. But backed by stats in the European top leagues, baby or mobile players on my consistent. No, I use the word experience. Experience. There's a need to look at him and see because me matete nkomo bi watch. I don't want to say it's a be confirm and bibisa. What did they mention as no match lineups no yaw getting kwa animu me the lineup ni ba betu do me catch my be from odi o maba. But it's important to look at a player like him. The thing make us asem ni ne yaw Jerome Opoku, Jonas Adete, Jiku, Kojo Opon. Here statistics we say this year. Availability, experience. In the absence of Mohamed Salisu. Now, the number of appearances that have been made by all the centre backs are in the absence of Salisu. Now, Nicolas Opoku about 20 matches this season, or averaging 90 minutes every single game on film or Tekio. About 1,800 minutes. Jerome Opoku about 19 out of the 20 games are solid and hopeful. Quality player by our standard. Yow, about 85 minutes per game or averaging 1,620 minutes. Jonah Jete, about 15 out of the possible 16 games quality or averaging 84 minutes per every single game with 1,250 minutes. There is Alexander Jiku, senior mine, now over now. Yow, it's a me question as one ever partner no. Jerome Abo. Jerome Krabit my partner no.
Jiku very constant.
Jiku the only a constant figure of Black Stars backline him. And I'm come on me didn't know about the spine of the Black Stars. Because spine is here about what two and only Salisu no. What to say who? Then you look at Kojo Opon about 17 out of possible 18 matches, averaging 1,510 minutes, 84 minutes per game. Yow, tackles per game this year. Nicolas Opoku averaging 1.3 per every single 90 minutes. Jerome Opoku average 0.9. Jonah Jete average 1.7. Jiku average 1.7. Anna Kweku Opon average 1.6. In the context of this discussion, you look at Kweku Opon, you look at Jiku, you look at Jonah Jete, you look at Jerome Opoku. I think Nicholas Opoku has proven himself statistically to be part of the lot in the absence of Mohamed Salisu to come, not to come a starter. Minka Kinesa. But in the absence of Mohamed Salisu, then you look at Omo clearances per game. Nicholas Opoku is averaging 7.1 first. Jerome Opoku averaging 4.2. Jonas Ajete averaging 6.1. Jiku averaging 4.4. Kweku Opon averaging 5.1. In balls recovered per game, Nicholas Opoku averaging 4.8. Jerome averaging 2.9. Jonas averaging 5.7. Jiku averaging 2.8. Kweku Opon averaging 3.2. Yow, passing accuracy. Nicholas Opoku 90%. Jerome 89%. Jonas 87%. Jiku 89%. Kweku Opon 92%. Yow, we have a young quality in the shape of Kweku Opon. Young quality in the shape of Jerome Opoku. Young quality. Jonas Ajete. VSV Wolfsburg will even push him to a different limit. But I think where we are now, even if it is not Nicholas Opoku, there are other experienced players we can look at. Bring them into the Black Stars to come and complement young players going into the match internationals to test their results. Because in the absence of Mohamed Salisu, when your World Cup squad, but how it is important to open the scale of discussion in terms of replacing Mohamed Salisu before the World Cup comes in. Because Salisu and different things altogether. You can argue with anybody about Salisu wasa by Salisu jina boss to say pano bo passa.
Defender on your passing.
Or Takona on the left in say no. Is a quality centre back that complements any other player.
Okay.
So I think looking at everything that is in, we need to look at experience. And one of them should also be about Nicholas Opoku in this contest of discussion.
Mate, Mesa, Mike, Mamraho.
Fancy, me that say, I don't know if you've observed the latest trend that way local football name about the Heart of Lions goalkeeper and say Wejane club hall, Wejane career hall. Ekosiki for greener pastures in the USA after say secure visa. It has triggered a lot of discussions around your football ecosystem no, as to whether say it is rewarding enough financially. Players who have signed contract, professionals, concentrating on seeing to the end of their contract or playing here professionally to make money than moving elsewhere. There is a certain hypocrisy attached to Nkomobi saying no. Into a to me ninkomoni ye na yembie ni seni yesiete. Mostly when I have conversations like this on radio or TV, I love contextualizing it, situating the issue or the matter in the right context. Lawrence was saying, 30 years by his football age, born in 1995. This will be likely in the 12th or the 13th season. Ghana a top flight in him. When BA United they qualified for boy league maybe some 11-12 years ago, Lawrence was part of that team that qualified them. BA United became Koninemua, Ashgold, Wafahopen, Karela United. Ayadia no dia BPM or Heart of Lions. The net salary per meme checks embro 5,000 Ghana cedis. At his age, he's 30 years per football. 5,000 Ghana cedis less in terms of monthly earnings. Sika ojino no. I've even exaggerated the figure name one ye dukakra. But if I'm to be very specific, I'm a bonus salary or general or rebel. Again, there is a general rule in football. The entire goalkeepers. In the last 5-10 years in Ghana, the number of goalkeeper transfers are and how financially beneficial are the goalies. Very few. Dan lad, Echo World Cup.
Wontumi.
Black Stars. Eventually, he had to move to Ethiopia. So yes, generally your football ecosystem can him, but even so for goalkeepers, their situations are worse. So not in the case of Lorenzo say, many sure say he would decline such an opportunity to travel to see greener pastures, even if it means he calls his footballing career quit. Or 30 years. If it was a 17-year-old, a teenager, a fan or no step football last year, then you would have said, what 20 career go? But this is a goalkeeper who has played in the Ghanaian top flight for a consistent period of 10 plus years or seasons. Until the career nguye life again. Your quine, your objectives, and the quine opesa will fast will achieve. Me assure sa time and now ko JSS. Na o be BSc when this wa unyini a obeye. Unyini no, you adjusted what you wanted to do in life. Meboa. Ebi ka so be pilots. Ebi ka so be doctors. Ebi ka so be lawyers. Not all of these people who have such aspirations eventually pursue them. As you grow in life and then you experience life, you make adjustments to what you want to do and where you want to go. So for a goalkeeper who has played 10 plus seasons for Ghana, no case men to me career so be nemo mi jaya ko abrochire de. It does not generalize the issue of say Ghana football na nye papa na players in Dwaneko. O kan sa enye no kre. Why I will not agree with a player the circumstances leading to his eventual departure from Ghana to where he's gone to. And that is one big problem Ghanaians we have. We don't know how to end relationships in a very amicable way and also a formal way.
Yes.
Or sign a contract, there was a formal process. There was an offer. And then there was an acceptance. You appended your signature. If you want to leave, again, there should be a formal process where the two parties, the other contract man, what I was signing, and you deliberate on it, and then you find a way to end it. Now, you see, we don't know how to say goodbye. So in the end, we burn bridges. And many drew I was here because they are all fractured. They are now we share no so signing.